Hi, George here, and you've got to see this. Animated paintings inside of Minecraft. Let me show you what I mean. Just put one right here. Try that again. There we go. Animated painting right here inside of Minecraft. Now, it's actually pretty easy to do, not a real big deal, but you have to have the right tricks, know the right technique to do this. And that's what I'll be showing you in this video, is how you can make your very own animated paintings in Minecraft. Okay, switch over to the desktop and begin gathering our materials for this thing. Here we are on my desktop, and the first thing you need is a folder to build this in. I just made one here, and I called it pack right there. And these are some of the working files from the animation that you just saw, but I'll be showing you how to do this from the beginning. So we have our basic working folder. We next need to find an animation to use, and I found one over on Pixabay. Let me bring that up. That's right here. Great site, by the way, for all kinds of great free images. We'll go here into videos, and we'll do a search for Minecraft. There we go. And there are these 3 videos in here. Real nice, kind of fun, interesting videos. I used a little bit of this one right here. It's just a little 6-second video. I only needed just a few frames for what I did, and 6 seconds is a lot of frames when you figure 30 frames per second. So I'll download this, right-click, we'll open a new tab, make it easy so I don't lose that page. Then it's downloaded here. Again, this is a free download. If you have an account, great, you can download it directly. If you don't, they're just going to pop up one of those little CAPTCHA things. Just answer that and you can then download it. I brought it down at the same size of the recording I'm doing, which is your basic 1080p. Choose download, and I'll put it into the same folder and save. There we go, that's taken care of. Okay, back to the desktop. You then need to grab out the frames you want. Now my animation is only 11 frames long. You can go for a longer animation if you want to, more frames, and that gives you a longer animation. Now you don't need to be real picky on the high resolution animation or anything in here. I made mine just the first second, and then I cut that in half and did every other frame. Easy enough, any good video editing program can do that. Just take out still grabs from your video and do it every other frame. Even every third frame is probably enough. The fewer frames you have, the better it's going to run. If you have too many frames, it'll begin to slow down, potentially, depending upon what else is happening in your world at that moment. And then I ended up with these frames taken from that video. It has a green screen behind it, so it makes it real easy. Now all you have to do is just take this over into an image editing program. I happen to use Photoshop Elements on this, but anything will work that can do layers. The important thing is you have to be able to do layers for this. Photoshop is perfect, of course. Photoshop Elements just runs faster for this kind of smaller project. Other programs can also work. Even programs like the free paint.net would work as well. I just normally use Photoshop Elements whenever I'm doing these kind of web things, so that's what I did this in. Let me take you over there. And here we go. There's the finished image for this. I made this at 256 wide. And that's basically the painting size, which is 64 wide in Minecraft. Take it up a couple of steps up to 256, so I get a bit better resolution on that. And I'll show you that once we grab that painting. But the basic concept here is that each frame of the animation is one layer inside of your image. So you need a bunch of layers like this. Each layer is stacked up like that. And each one of those is one of the frames of the animation. It goes top to bottom, and it just shows you each one of these in sequence. It's down to the bottom one, and then it goes back to the top one again and does the same thing. And it reads each one of those spots. And that gives you that animation, just like a film strip in an old film style movie camera. It just goes through each frame by frame animation, basically. Now the problem, of course, with frame by frame is it can be very tedious to make this thing. And this took me a little while to set this up. There were a lot of steps involved to do all 11 of these in here, but I'll show you what the steps were. I won't go through the whole process. I don't want to be here for an hour, but I will show you each individual step on just one frame so you can understand the whole process. Okay, now we need to have a few things from Minecraft to build this. So we'll then come back over here and work on setting this up. So we'll go back out of here and go into the launcher. And here we go, the Minecraft launcher. Go up here where it says installations. And then over here, right now in 1.19.3, whatever the top one is, it doesn't matter if you just go over here and click on that folder icon right over here, just to the right of that play button. And this opens up the Minecraft folder. Now in here, you have to find the versions folder. Mine's right here. Go into the versions folder and then find your version that you're playing. I can probably clean out a lot of this old stuff I'm not using any longer. One of these days I'll do that. But there we go. Here's my 19.3. That's the version that I'm currently playing. And then open this one up. And you should see 2 files in here, a jar file and a JSON file. If you only see just one file, then open up and run Minecraft up to the title screen, and it's right before the title screen loads, that's when the jar file is downloaded to your computer. So as long as you get to the title screen, you'll have that jar file. Now, if you don't see the .jar or .json, right now I am inside of Windows 11. Go up to View, come down to Show, and right here, put a check next to File Name Extensions. You'll then see that .jar. If you're on Windows 10, then just click on the View tab and put a check next to File Name Extensions. It'll be up here at the top. Okay, we need to copy this out to our working folder. Let me bring that up right there. And I'm going to right drag it over here and copy. There it is. Now, if you have WinRAR or 7-zip, you can open this thing up directly. If not, the easy way is just to click into the name, backspace over the jar, and just rename it zip. That's all this is anyway. It's just a zip file. We can now open this thing up. Now, I like to open it up in a new window, so I'll right-click and open a new window right here. And I can then just flip that window on top. Now, you really need a pack.png icon image for your resource pack, and here's where you can get that if you don't have your own. It's in this list. Just scroll way down until you get down to the P section down here. And there it is. That's the default pack.png. Just right drag it over here and copy. And that's just that grass block image. If you have your own, go ahead and use that instead. It's up to you. This is just a 128 by 128 square image. That's all it is in PNG format. Nothing special about that. Okay, now we need to get a painting to work from as our base. So go into Assets up here, into Minecraft, come down here to Textures, go into Textures, and come down here to Painting, go into Painting, and then choose one of the ones that you want to work with. I just happen to choose Pointer because I never use that one in the game. And then right drag that over here and copy. And there you go, there's our basic pointer image. Now we also need to have some folders in here. Might as well get that done right now while it's easy. And you see at the top of here, we're in Assets, Minecraft, Textures, Painting. We need those folders in our working folder. So I'll go up to New, Folder. First one is Assets. Inside of that, New and Folder. Next one's Minecraft. There you go, inside of that one, New and Folder. Next one is Textures. Okay, inside of this one, New and Folder. Last one is Painting. And our final image will be going inside of that. Okay, let's back out here to our working folder. One more thing that we need, and we're still here inside of our textures, inside of the zip file. Go up here to Block, gives you all the blocks. Now scroll down to Campfire. Right here, here's the campfire. And below campfire is campfire.png.mcmeta. You want that .mcmeta file right there. So I'll right drag that over here and copy. And that's this thing right there. Okay, that's everything that we need, all the pieces that we need. We're all set now to make our big graphic. Let's get this out of the way as well. All right, let's go back over into Photoshop Elements. Again, use any editor that you want. It's just fine. You just have to have layers. And let's look at the steps I went through to make that long graphic. Okay, let's first get our base file for this. Go up to File and Open. You want your pointer PNG right here. Open that one up. Now I want to make this larger to work with. It's pretty small right now. I just want to make it bigger. We're not using that picture. I just want to have this as a container to begin to work with it. So I'll just make the image size larger. And in Photoshop Elements, that's a image resize. Most programs do the same thing in here. Go to Resize. I'll change this to 256 by 256. That's fine. And come down here. I normally set this for nearest neighbor when I'm working with Minecraft images. Choose OK. And let's get this thing to fit again. There we go. It's just a bigger image now, a bigger picture to work with. Okay. Now we need to know how many frames we're going to be putting into our picture. I'm putting in 11 frames. Although for this demo, I'll just show you a couple of frames. But we need to make the image size big enough for all of those 11 frames. So up here, Image again, come down to Resize and Canvas Size this time. It changes the size of the canvas. The width stays the same. That's correct. And I need the height at 11 times this number. So that's 256 times 11. 2816. And I want this at the bottom like that. Choose OK. And let's get this to fit on screen. And there we go. That's going to be our final image in here. Now it's just a matter of bringing in the individual frames. Work from the top to the bottom. And again, each one of those pictures will be one frame of animation. Let's now bring in and do just 2 of those frames so you see the process. Open, and here's my animated Steve. That's that one here and that one there. Those are the originals. There we go. And these are just the first 2 frames from the video animation. Now they're too big. I need to make these smaller to fit. I need the height to be at 256. So I'll go back up here to image, come down to resize image size. And the height right here needs to be at 256. And again, let's set this for nearest neighbor or preserve hard edges. Most programs will have something like this when you're changing image size. Choose OK. And it brings it down to the right size on the height. It's too wide. We'll take care of that next. Let's get our height on this one as well. So image resize, image size. Same thing, height at 256. Choose OK. And there we go. We now need to chop off the sides. And for that, I'll go up here to image and canvas size. The only consideration here is that the width is the same as the height. They need to be square images because our painting is square, so we're matching a square painting. So here's our height. Let's set this width at 256. It's centered. Choose OK. And proceed. And there we go. Same thing over here. Image, resize, canvas size, width at 256. Choose OK. Proceed. And there we go. So that's our first frame. That's our second frame. Now I need these over here, but a little quirk in here inside of Photoshop Elements is if I drag this over here, I'm going to be losing that, cutting the sides off. So I need to save this first as something else. So File, Save As. I just save this out as a JPEG file. And there we go again, same things. I'll replace that one, clear to the top. And I'll just save it out as a different file type. Let me just bring those up now. Get those out of here. And File Open, and I'll bring in those 2 images. And there we go, those are the first 2 frames. Now, you can just get these over in here any way you want to, depending upon your program. You can select everything, copy and paste. Inside of Photoshop Elements, I can just drag and drop from one to the other like that. There's my first frame, put that at the top. And I'll do the same thing with this one, drag and drop, and there we go. And get those out of the way. And we'll zoom into the top up here and scroll up, and I'll make sure I'm right at the right spot. Right there, there we go. Okay, come down to the next picture. That's right here, pull this up and link it up exactly. And let's just back out just a little bit here. And there we go, those are my first 2 frames of the animation. Now I need to get rid of that green area. Easy enough, put it like that, there we go. And I'll use the magic wand tool. Again, most programs have a magic wand tool. Click into here and select the green area. If you want, you can just hit delete and delete that, like that. Come down to our second one, same thing, magic wand and delete. And there we go, just Control D to remove that. Now we need a background for this. And that can be any picture you want. And I have one over here. And that's this picture right here. It's too big again. So I need to bring this down to the right size. I need to have the right height on this. So image, resize image size. Same thing. The height needs to be at 256. Choose OK. It now fits. I can then drag this in. And I'll put it just like that. Get rid of that one. And there we go. That's the background. Now I need to have the same background for every single image. So I'm just going to copy this layer, right click, duplicate layer, choose OK. And I want to put that down here behind this one. So I'll drag that down and then pull the image down. And it's now behind that one. So I have my background in here for both of those layers. And I'll do the exact same steps for all the rest of the layers all the way down to the bottom of this big long line here. Each layer again becomes a frame. But that's basically it. That's the whole concept. So you're just changing the pose or image every single frame. If you want to have a background that stays the same, you have to just copy that every single frame. Then you just stack those up and do that for every single frame of your animation. You can make this as tall as you want to put in as many frames as you want. I just went for a very small number here just for a real fast demo for this video. Okay, now we need to save it out as a PNG file. File, save. Change this to PNG. And it should say pointer.png. That's the name of the original right here. Choose save, choose replace, and that's done. We're done with this whole part of this process. Okay, I'm not going to bother saving that again. And there we go. So that's one that we're just doing. Here's my finished one over here. So I'll use this for the rest of this video. I'll just delete this thing here, get rid of that. And I'm going to change this name back to saying pointer.png. So that's our finished image with all those frame layers. Now we need to add this into the correct folder, But along with that, we need to have this file over here. Right now it says campfire.png.mcmeta. Change the campfire part to match the name of your painting. So in this case, it's going to be same pointer. It's back over here. Call it pointer. So for mine, it should be, since I have pointer.png, pointer.png.mcmeta. Now, you can leave this alone if you want to. I'll open this up in Notepad++. And that's all it is. It just controls the animation and it shows you how long the frames stay. If you can adjust this number to make your video faster or slower and play around with it until you find the right number. Keep the numbers fairly low, but that's all that is. You can just leave it as is if you want to. Okay, one more thing that we need. We need a pack.mcmeta file so that Minecraft knows how to use this new custom pack. You can download that from my website. Let me bring that up. And I'll put this link in the description so you can go right to this one page. If you want to code your own, that's the code right there. You need the right format number, the right version. Right now in 1.19.3, that happens to be version 12. The ones are right down here. Earlier versions of 1.19 were version 9. I have no idea why it went from 9 to 12, but it did. 1.18 was version 8, 1.17 was version 7, and so forth. So just download the pack for the version that you're using. These are zipped up, so I'll have to unzip this. Let me just download this. I'll click on this. And we'll download back into our same pack location. Choose Save. Okay, we got that. Let's go back to the working folder. In this right here, I'm just going to right-click and unpack this thing. Extract all. There we go. And that's just that pack.mcmeta file right there. That's all that is inside of that zip file. You can just drag it over, and there we go. Once you have that here, you can actually get rid of that zip file if you want to. I'll just delete that. Okay, inside the pack.mcmeta, double-click on this to run this. Now I'm opening this up in Notepad++. It's my personal favorite code editor for this kind of real small coding. The pack format should be fine if you downloaded the right format from my website. Then just give it a name to match. And let's call this custom animated painting. There we go. Choose Save. And that's done. Okay, we can now go ahead and build the pack. Now I need to have this left where it is, that left here, and then our graphic here, and this pointer mcmeta right here. Control key. I'm just going to right click and copy. Let's go into our folders all the way in the painting folder, right click and paste, and they go right there. Just change our view here to large icons, and there it is. That's where they go. Let's go back here to our pack. And we can now zip this thing up if you want to, or you don't have to zip it. If you want to leave this unzipped, that's okay. I do that sometimes if I'm doing testing. You may want to leave this one unzipped so you can go back in and adjust that mcmeta file to adjust your animation rate. So let's make a new folder in here. New folder. I'll call it painting animation right there. Then you want the assets, control key down. You want that pack mcmeta, and you want that pack PNG. You want those three things. Put those into your folder right there. Let's now go back to the Minecraft launcher, just right there in the background. Back over here, open that folder up again. And this time, come down here, and we're going to be going into the resource packs folder. Open this one up. There's one I had for my demonstration right there. Let's go ahead and I'll bring in this new one. And that's right here. I'm just going to right drag it over here and copy. And it's all set. Let's get this out of the way. And I'll show you how to adjust the animation rate in just a moment. But this is all set to go, so we can now check this out. Click on play. We'll need to launch Minecraft. We'll then have to activate that pack. So it's then showing inside of the game. Okay, let's go into options and resource packs in here. Let me take out that animated painting one. There we go. That's out of here. And we'll find the new one that we just did, and that's right here, painting animation. Bring that one in. There we go. So it's activated. Choose done. And we'll then go into the game and take a look at that. And then I'll show you how to adjust the frame rate if you want your animation rate and what that does. Okay, let's see if it's working. Yes, it is. There we go. It's the same painting that we used to replace so that the animation looks the same here. Let's say you wanted to change that rate in there, the animation rate. I'm just going to hit the escape key, go into options, and then to resource packs, and want to take this one and deactivate it. Choose done. That just takes that pack out of activation so it's not running. And then back into resource packs and open pack folder. And here it is. Let's go inside here. Instead of assets, Minecraft, textures, and painting. And there's that MC-Meta file. Let's open this one up. You want to change your frame rate, just change the number right here. Let's change this one to a 3 instead of a 2. Choose save. There we go. We're done with this. Let's now reactivate that pack. There we go. Choose done. And done again. Back to game. And now he's running a lot slower because it went from 2 to a 3. You can also use point numbers. You can use 1.5 if you want to, things like that. So you can control the speed of the animation with that MC-Meta animation file. And there you go. That's how you can make your very own animated paintings here inside of Minecraft. And if you like this video, hit that like button. That really helps out my channel a lot. Also, make sure you subscribe. That also helps me just a ton. I'm trying to get up to 100,000 subscribers at some point here. So the more subscriptions I get, the better off this all is, the more videos I can make for you. And I'll see you later.